terror, the actions of extremist bomb makers who want to destroy civilization. Anarchy is chaos, a state without law that allows people to do whatever they want. Anarchism is nihilism, or the absence of moral values and common sense.
Hello guys! Welcome back to Voice of the Street, the podcast where we bring untold stories, raw and perspective from the ground. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dani Sarah and this is my partner.
My name is Nela. Today's episode is about action and emotional. Just yesterday, Indonesia witnessed a large-scale demonstration that spiraled out of control. What started as a civil protest quickly descended into chaos, fires, broken public facilities, and sadly, a Gojek driver ran over in the middle of turmoil.
So let's get started with the two witnesses. We want to remind our listener, this is not just about politics, it's about people, ordinary people, and we don't get caught in the middle. And it's about the thin line between democracy and destruction.
To give us freedom insight, we've invited two witnesses who were present during the event, Raka and Vio.
Thank you, Nela, for inviting me and you. We are really excited to talk about what's event that really happened.
Yes, thank you for having me. Honestly, it feels still unreal.
Raka, could you paint a picture of the protest before everything went wrong?
Okay, so in the morning it feels like normal demonstration. It feels safe, it feels okay. It contains like students, workers, activists, and then they bring some poster, they shout some chants, and they play some music at it. And then maybe the atmosphere was charged, but there's no hostile. The police is lining a form, but to give defense, but there's no offensive, there's no fighting, and etc. And people were even sharing about water bottle, giving support to each other.
So it was peaceful.
Yes, at first it was peaceful, but in the afternoon, some people who wears a mask and dark clothes come to the place, not bring a poster, not bring a chant, but they bring a rock, sticks, and spray paint.
That's when the situation began to change.
Yes, exactly that is.
Vio, you were closer to the door. How you tell us about the Gojek driver?
Yes, it feels hard to talk about. He was just pacing through. You know how Gojek drivers are. They always working, trying to deliver orders. He was not part of the protest, but when the crowd started running, Visual turned to escape too. One car forced his way forward, and the Gojek driver was hit. He fell, and people screamed.
Did anyone help imagine?
Protesters rushed to him to try to pull him away from the road, but at the same time, police fired tear gas and people scattered. It was chaos. Finally, a small group managed to carry him to the sidewalk. Later, an ambulance came, but those minutes felt endless.
How did you feel watching it happen?
Helpless, angry. That man was innocent. He was not there to fight, and yet he survived because other close violence.
Raka, beyond what happened to the driver, what kind of damage did you see?
Okay, so it was a breaking. I'm sure some bus that stops is getting shattered glass, and then the traffic light was smashed, the trash bins were set on fire, the cars were set on fire, the walls nearby there is covered with anarchist graffiti, and then even nearby small shops get their glass broken and then they're getting robbed.
So ordinary citizens are paying the price?
Exactly. They wanted to criticize the government, but the effect of this thing fell to the citizens itself.
Let's pause for a second. Some say the anarchists were outsiders. Others argue that frustration boiled over. From your perspective, what's responsible?
Honestly, maybe in first glance it didn't look like the students or workers. It may be some groups that have a sort of intention with destroying things like that, and then maybe this is some coordinated groups, maybe some like vandalism, and then maybe they are not the original protesters.
I agree, most protesters want to speak, not to break. But when outsiders lit fires and threw stones, everyone got blamed.
That's danger. Once violence enters, the line blur and the media paints everyone the same.
How has this experience affect you personally?
I couldn't sleep last night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the driver on the ground. I kept hearing the sirens, the shouts, the breaking glass. It makes me question, are we forgetting how to protest peacefully?
That's powerful and painful.
Yeah, personally for me, it's so frustrating, so frustration. I believe in democracy, I do, but in the right of speak. But when the protest is hijacked with the violence, the message is disappeared, right? People at home don't think about the politicize, about the speak out that we came out, but they think about the chaos there.
So, what can we learn from this?
So the protest must be disciplined, and then the organizer must guard them from the movement of infiltrators, right? And otherwise, they will lose their credibility.
And we as citizens need to spirit the real protest from anarchists. We shouldn't let the violence and fear define the peaceful meaning.
Westwards, democracy gives us the right to demonstrate, but also gives us the responsibility to protect each other.
To our listeners, when you take to the street, remember that your voice matter, but your action matters too. Protect life, protect public space, don't let violence drown out your cause.
So, Raka, Vio, thank you for your courage and honesty. Your voice reminds us that behind every headline are real people who live in the chaos.
And to our audience, thank you for staying with us. May we all find better ways to be heard without silencing others through fear and distraction.
That's for today's episode for Voice of the Street.
Stay safe, stay aware, and keep your humanity alive. Until next time, goodbye!